What's up, everyone? Welcome back to yet another video of me rambling about my crypto ideas, my general market ideas, my investing ideas, and uh, yeah, rambling in general. Yeah, it's been an absolutely crazy week. We had just out of the top of my head, we had Trump hinting at taking over Gaza. We had a small crypto crash. We related to the tariffs. Both Mexico, Canada, and China got, and as quickly as Trump announced them, they also got pushed back a month later. And they might not happen at all. They could happen. We don't know. I think only Trump knows for sure. But the fact that it has effect on the market, that's a given. We saw crypto crash around 20%. It did bounce back up, actually. Not as much as we all would have liked, I suppose. But I don't think it's a bad thing in general. I think it's good to see some selling pressure. There's a little cool down before we possibly do go higher or we correct further down. But even going down, I'd rather see it gradually than all at once. Even though volatility in itself is not bad, especially because some of my positions I placed, my limit orders I placed a long while back on my spot buys, got triggered. So in my Discord, I talked about buying more Sui, Solana, and XLR actually, and a few others. And yeah, they all got triggered on the market movement. So all in all, I'm a happy camper. Those positions are all in profit. Do we go further down? I have more placed, so either way is fine. All right, I will talk more about our crazy week we had. But first of all, I wanted to thank everyone for subscribing. I'm up to 250 subscribers. My goal is 500 at the moment, but 250 is absolutely crazy. It's been a little over 2 months. So yeah, everyone, thank you very much for helping me achieve that. I mean, and the fact that I got 250 people to even watch my videos is absolutely crazy. So thank you all very much for that. And yeah, let's shoot for 500 and let's keep this going. The more people that hit that subscribe button, the more videos I'm able to make. The more news I'm able to talk about, and more stuff I'm able to share with you all. So yeah, thanks for that, and let's get into the rest of the video. All right, so here we are back at home base, CoinMarketCap. If we look at the global crypto market cap, we can see it is declining overall, which isn't strange considering Bitcoin is down and Bitcoin is still pretty much half the market. And yeah, we have dropped down considerably. Like we were last at like 3.5 and we're now at 3.1. Very, very big correction. I do not think we have seen the end of the correction. I do think we will see at least more volatility, and paired with that volatility, uncertainty. Considering like how fast Trump is pushing things through and stirring things up, it's causing panic and fear in markets, or at least reactionary trading to it. And yeah, I think all in all, it can do good. But for now, it's causing panic, and panic is a poor advisor. So people are just starting to pull out funds, especially bigger companies. And yeah, I will get back to that in a few minutes because I found some news articles that also corroborate this story. And as we can also see, the fear and greed index has actually shifted back tremendously. But as I've talked about in the past, if we go to these extreme fear periods, or at least a fear period, we're not in extreme fear yet, but once we go to these fearful periods, eventually we bounce back. Now, how long that is, nobody knows exactly, but it could signal a bear market coming, which I'm secretly hoping. Please don't judge me, but I'm secretly hoping that we do see a bigger correction, lower prices for a longer period. So our or at least my monthly buy-ins can be at much better prices before we shoot further up, because I do think in a few years Bitcoin will be worth much more than at the current level, and with it a lot of the altcoins as well. Meme coins, no, I would not say I won't hold any meme coins for that length of period of time. But for bigger altcoins which I think have a valid future, and Bitcoin in a few years will dwarf the amounts that they're worth currently. So with that said, I will grab my chart, or at least my trading view chart. So what is this big blue line now? If we look at the Bitcoin monthly chart, we see we can look back at the history of Bitcoin. Now, what Bitcoin tends to do, even as back in 2017, we shut up, we shut down, we shut up, we shut down. Now, if we zoom further in, it would mostly look like this. Now, obviously, these were big panic moments with FTX collapsing and Celsius collapsing, other bad news periods throughout the years have caused, were basically the start of these big sell-offs, and then bankruptcies and other panic movements followed suit. Now, remember I said panic, fear, uncertainty, doubt, FUD for short, but the fact that we can see that the market is reacting to this stuff. Now, this blue line is pretty much this push down. That would mean Bitcoin would go back down to 75,000, which, considering the volatility we've seen in such short amounts of time, I think it's not unreasonable to think that we could see a move back down to these levels. And if we do, I think that will be an absolutely steal to buy Bitcoin at that price, or possibly if we go even further down back to 60. And if I go to my BITUNIX chart, like, am I still bullish on Bitcoin? Yeah, I am. At least for shorter terms. Like, all that needs to happen is one piece of good news to push that price back up, considering the volatility, the big candles we're having at this current moment. Now, this could happen, but it's becoming more likely that we will see a bigger sell-off. Like, for the last few weeks, we have seen these big, massive red candles, and obviously we have recovered from them, and we are in that sideways movements I've talked about in previous videos, and these circles being my spot buys. So my spot buys got triggered on this one because I've had this level for a very long time, and as I said, it got triggered. I didn't even have to look at the charts. I just got a push notification, hey, your price got triggered. And then at the same time, I was also actually looking at the chart, so that's all good. But we are seeing massive sell-off pressure, fear in the market. So for sure, I'm thinking we will start to head to this level. Now, once we're at this level in a few days, that's I think it will be very news related if we do recover or push further up. But yeah, Bitcoin done for now. It could be. I think the sentiment could completely shift, and basically these blue lines is where I intend to buy. So 81,000, 70,000, 66,000, 60,000. And if we go even lower than that, then obviously in gradual steps, I would love to be able to buy Bitcoin again at 50,000. And I would completely buy as much as I could. I don't think that will happen, but if it does, I'm prepared for that. All these levels are based off of previous support and resistance levels. I don't value them too much because I think they're more or less zones in which reactions will happen and not exact price points. Similarly to people selling Bitcoin just before it hit 100K. And similarly, when it reached 110, I think this is it's psychological levels where people will start to buy and sell right before them. But as an indication, I've placed my buys on these levels. This is on BITUNIX, and I have another exchange that's in the description, which is called Bitvavo. It's in the SEPA zone. It uses euros, so I don't have to exchange my money twice. So it's cheaper for me to buy it on that exchange. I will do a video about Bitvavo as well, for people that's interested at least. But I am thinking about actually opening a dollar position as well, because I'm thinking the dollar is doing better than the euro in the short term, or at least medium long term, or short to medium to long term. I'm thinking dollars will be good to have, especially, like, we can all talk about Trump all we want, but one thing he is good for is, I think, is the value of the dollar, regardless of what it does to people and whatever. I think the value for the dollar will increase, or at least the euro will decrease more than the dollar. So I'm thinking holding some dollars is not a bad option. So I might actually start to place these buys on these levels. Now, alternatively, if you think the euro is actually a good thing to hold, you could actually open an account on Bitvavo. Like I said, it's in the description below. You get the first 10,000 euros without trading fees. So you can trade all you want and it won't cost you anything. So possibly a very good option for people in Britain, for example. And also it has a banking license, so you can deposit fiat straight into it, which also cuts out another trading fee option. So you don't have to use a third party like MoonPay and stuff like that. So it's cheap. And well, I think the Dutch people are known for, I won't say stinginess, but I'd say effectiveness. And as I said, we could see this similarly happening, going up and going down, but I think for now we will start going down. Now, as I said, I found some news articles which corroborate this. Bitcoin ETF inflows cool off amid uncertainty over Trump strategic BTC reserve plans. Now, uncertainty is the common denominator in this. There's more messages, but you can all check out this website as well, crypto.news. And I think fear and uncertainty are starting to flow back into the markets, which is a good thing. Like, when everyone's euphoric, we need to be actively selling. When fear and uncertainty is starting to come back to the market, we need to be buying. So on these red days, on these big pushes down, on these big candles down, like here and here, that's when we need to be buying. We want our crypto cheap so we can sell it more expensive. So, as I said, I do not think it's a bad thing. Even if Bitcoin is done for now, if we're heading into a bear market for the next 2 years, it will still not be a straight line down. So there will still be plenty of opportunity to trade, to profit, to buy, sell, hold, spot buys, DCA, leverage trading. Everything can still be done. Like, the volatility is what we want, either up or down. And I've been saying this for months. And yeah, considering I'm in crypto, Bitcoin for the long haul, and I'm just trying to amass as much as I can, I'd rather buy Bitcoin at 50K than 100K. But as I've also said, I'm never always 100% out of the market, so I'm still holding plenty. So if we do go up, I will buy, I'll sell, I'll take profits, but I'll still hold plenty to also benefit from that upside. So that's my take on the uncertainty part. Like, even if it does keep going down, I'm not worried at all. The fact that we reached 100K, I think, with all the long-term positive news, is that eventually we will dwarf these amounts. So all you have to do is hold it, like buy and hold and buy more. That's the trick to it, and not spending everything in one buy. Try to spread your buys. Try to buy strategically, and that's those red days, those moments where everybody's in panic. I'm not worried at all. I call it stress-free trading. It's It's mostly stress-free. Obviously, like some downwards movements is gonna affect you. But this is also why I think we will not be going to 120K, at least in the next few weeks. Possibly we will see a big move up at the end of February, beginning of March, because it's been historically an historic movement of Bitcoin. And yeah, Bitcoin is nothing, it repeats itself. And even considering with Trump, all the Trump related news, I think there's still a very good possibility of seeing one of those pumps. So that's why what I didn't draw was that it could very well do this straight after. So we start selling off a little below 120K, and then we see a big sell off down again. And it doesn't have to be this big. It could be here or here. Either way, if we go back down, that will still be present us with better options, better prices. And on the way up, we're taking profits. So even if we sell there and we drop 15%, we buy back 15% cheaper, and we go back to that old price, that 15% drop, we can still profit in this, even with a low leverage long-term trade or a medium-term trade. My bad. We can still profit with low leverage swing trades on this. We can buy more and hold it till higher prices. We like a 10% drop is a 20% rise. Either way, buying more on the cheaper prices still benefits us. And even if it doesn't break that 120K, if it does the same thing at 110, still nothing to worry about. Now, onto some bullish news. It's not all doom and gloom. The Czech Republic has passed a crypto-friendly law and exempts Bitcoin from capital gains. Now, this is actually really good news. I imagine if the US or if the Netherlands would do something similarly, you can imagine all the people that are saving money, putting their savings aside, that have amassed an amount where they have to pay capital gains, or I think in the US it's you have to pay capital gains regardless. If Bitcoin gets exempt from that, you can imagine all the people going to buy Bitcoin. So this is super, super bullish news. Imagine all the people in all the countries in the world buying Bitcoin to hold it for this. I mean, that would make it Bitcoin an even bigger store of value, because like who doesn't like not paying taxes? I think that's all in the game, trying to pay as less tax as you can, legally, of course, legally. So yeah, I wish they did this in the Netherlands, and I wish they did this in America as well. I'd wish this to everyone, but I think it's a massive amount of bullish news, and it will not impact the market short term, but in the longer term, yeah, it could make people move to that country and just sell their house, move to the Czech Republic, and put all their funds in Bitcoin, and then easily, like even normal people would be putting hundreds of thousands of dollars or euros or whatever coin they have into Bitcoin. So I think that's a massive amount of bullish news. And even if we look at basically all these news points, almost all of them are still bullish. Almost all of them are still long-term positive, very positive even. And this is basically what I've been saying, like riding the waves of Trump's tariffs and ETF hype. Like for now, we will see some cool down in the market. Not bad, not great, not terrible, but long term, yeah, we will see more and more adoption, especially with all the infrastructure being adjusted to it, and even the SAC becoming more lenient to crypto. So yeah, that's all for the video of today, I suppose. As I said, trading on BITUNIX, my spot buys, I will be, I think for the next video, they will be legitimate orders. I think that'll be fun to do on this exchange. If you want to trade on BITUNIX, I also got a link to BITUNIX in the videos, in the descriptions below. Personally, I really like it because you can use isolated margin. And not all exchanges have this, but I think it's a very, very good way to protect yourself and just start on an isolated 3 times margin and slowly build your way up. Even with, as long as you have collateral, and even if you spread your entries, be strategic in your buys or sells, or if you're longing or shorting, I think it's a very, very good tool to protect your assets, protect your long-term trades. All right, as I said, that's all for this video. Thanks again, everyone, for helping me reach 250 subscribers. And yeah, please feel free to leave a comment, ask me some questions, whatever you want. And yeah, just hit me up and we can talk. And stay tuned, guys.